Most people overpay for lab equipment like this. Here's why this Ohaus Pioneer balance is different. If you're tired of clunky, inaccurate scales that slow you down in the lab, this one might be exactly what you need. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've used a lot of analytical balances over the years, and honestly, many of them feel outdated, slow to stabilize, finicky with calibration, and way too expensive for what they offer. But the Ohaus PX84 Pioneer changes that. It's not just another scale, it's built for precision without the frustration. Whether you're in a research lab, a quality control station, or even a small workshop where accuracy matters, this balance delivers. And at a price point that doesn't make you wince, it's worth a closer look. One of the first things you'll notice is how fast it stabilizes. Most analytical balances take forever to settle, especially in a busy lab where vibrations and air currents are constant. But the Pioneer has this sleek draft shield that really cuts down on disturbances. I've tested it in less than ideal conditions, near open doors, under ceiling fans, even with people walking by, and it still locks in within seconds. That might not sound like a big deal until you're trying to weigh something delicate and impatient, and every second counts. The display is crisp and easy to read, too. It's a backlit LCD, so even under lab lighting, you won't be squinting or adjusting angles to see the numbers. That's a small detail, but it makes a difference when you're doing repetitive measurements all day. The weighing capacity is 84 grams with readability down to 0.0001 grams. That's precise enough for most analytical work, think pharmaceuticals, chemical compounds, or even jewelry. The pan size is generous at 90 millimeters, so you're not constantly struggling with tiny sample holders. I've used it to weigh out micrograms of reagents for titrations, and it handled the job without any hiccups. Plus, it has internal calibration, which is a huge plus. External calibration means breaking out the weights and manually adjusting, which is a pain. But this one does it automatically when you turn it on or at set intervals. It's one less step to remember, and that kind of reliability saves time and frustration. Power-wise, it runs on standard AC power, but it also has a backup battery option. That's handy if you need to move it around or if there's a power outage. The construction is solid, too, stainless steel housing and a durable weighing pan that can handle accidental bumps. I've seen balances where the pan gets scratched or the housing dents easily, but this one feels built to last. The menu is straightforward, with options to switch between units like grams, milligrams, carats, or even ounces. That flexibility is useful if you work with different materials or standards. Now, let's talk about the downsides. It's not the smallest balance out there, so if you're tight on bench space, you'll need to measure first. Also, while the internal calibration is convenient, it does take a few seconds to run, which might feel slow if you're in a rush. But honestly, those are minor trade-offs for the accuracy and ease of use it provides. For anyone who's ever dealt with inconsistent results or wasted time recalibrating a cheap scale, this Ohaus Pioneer is a game-changer in the best sense. It's reliable, precise, and built to handle real-world lab conditions without breaking the bank. If you're in the market for an analytical balance that won't let you down, this one's worth considering. Check it out using the link below if it sounds like the right fit for your needs. For most buyers, the real question is not whether Ohaus PX84 Pioneer Analytical Balance, 84GX0.0001G, internal calibration with Draftshield sounds impressive on paper, but whether strengths like units and display actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement wear off. It is also smart to think about long-term satisfaction. A product like Ohaus PX84 Pioneer Analytical Balance, 84GX0.0001G, internal calibration with Draftshield usually feels like the better buy when it stays convenient, comfortable, and reliable in normal everyday use instead of only looking good in the listing.